Last week, I covered with you the idea that you need to look at your career, then what you want to major in college, and then what you want to, what college you want to attend. Today, I'm going to go over some really basic basics. So transitioning from middle school to high school, there's lots of little nuances that you can get lost in, and we don't want you to get lost or feel flustered or frustrated. If you have an older brother or sister that's at high school, you may have heard about some of these things. But if you don't have that older brother or sister to kind of guide you through, we just kind of want to give you the information so that you don't struggle. So, welcome to high school. Hopefully, next year at this time, we'll be back in the classroom. That would be great. If we can get through this pandemic and oops, go on to the next. Why is it not doing? There we go. If we could get through this pandemic and be back in the classroom, back in with each other, that would be fantastic. But there's going to be all kinds of things to look forward to once you're back on campus. You're going to get the freedom to explore areas of things that you like to do, whether it's through taking an elective class or joining a club, doing a sport, doing a school play. You're going to meet all kinds of new people. So right now at your middle school, you have probably 800, maybe 900 kids at your school. At the high school, you're going to have close to 2,000 kids. So your world is going to really open up. And you're going to also get to explore things so you can start thinking about what you want to do for your career. And it's also going to be a time where you can learn to balance between your responsibilities of getting homework done and the classroom and having fun. So let's go over some basics. And these are going to seem very fundamental, but these are the things that trip up freshmen. And it's better to tell you than have you experience that and get frustrated. So my computer will cooperate here. Okay, it's going to have some hiccups tonight, but we'll go with it. All right, so just a few things to know that they're different between middle school and high school. So in middle school, you're used to getting your grades as a number. So you may have a 3.2 in math, you may have a 3.4 in English. When you get to high school, you're going to go to the letter grading system, A, B, C, D, and F. We don't want the Fs. We prefer not to have the Ds. The A's, the B's, the C's, that's what the colleges are going to be looking for. When you have D's or F's, that means that you didn't really learn the content, and you're going to probably want to take that class again and show to the colleges that you've mastered that class. In middle school, your teachers really concentrate on the fact that you want you to master the information. So when you take a test and things don't go well, they allow you to take the test again, which is great. You can go back and practice, master the material, and really go show them what you know. In high school, they don't do that. They don't allow you to keep retaking tests. Typically, they only give you one opportunity to take that test. So you want to make sure that you study ahead of time, that you don't wait till the last minute to study. The thing is, if you wait till the last minute to study, you open the book the night before, the information's only going into your short-term memory. And our short-term memory only holds 7 pieces of information. Think about how many questions are on a typical test. It could be 15, 20, 25 questions maybe sometimes. And if your short-term memory is only holding on to 7 pieces of information, how are you going to do on that test? Probably not good. So you want to study every day as if you're preparing for the test, whether it's a week away or 2 weeks away. Master the material each day. A lot of students like to make flashcards. The fact that you're writing it down helps solidify it in your brain. Plus, you can sit there and review over and over. Some kids will make 3 piles of flashcards. One pile of the flashcards is the information that they are struggling with. One pile is the information that they kind of know. And one pile is the information that they really know well. You take that pile of cards that you don't know very well, and you go through that 3 or 4 times a day. The pile that you kind of know, twice a day. The pile that you really know well, once a day. And again, this repetition is going to really build that long-term memory. And so when you go into the test, you're going to do better in the long run. Okay, next point. For high school diploma, passing is considered a D or better. So we're going to go over in a few minutes your graduation requirements. In these graduation requirements, you have to earn a D or better. If you fail a class, you will be expected to go back and repeat that course in order to be able to meet the graduation requirements. So grades really are important and they really do count. And I think sometimes that surprises freshmen because we do have a system in the middle school that allows you to repeat things a lot. And the high school is preparing you actually for college and the real world. So you don't have that ability to retake tests and do things over and over again. So it means taking some responsibility and staying on top of things. For universities, passing is a C or higher. And we're going to go through in a few minutes what are called the A to G requirements. And the A to G requirements are the classes that the four-year universities require that you take in order to go straight from high school to a four-year college. Now, remember last week we kind of went over the fact that if I'm in high school, I have an option also to go to COS first. So maybe in high school, if my grades aren't as rock solid as I like, and I'm not ready to go off to a four-year college because maybe I did get a couple of Ds and didn't repeat those classes, I can go to COS for 2 years and then transfer to a four-year college, do 2 more, and those 4 years combined will produce a bachelor's degree. I want you to know what some of the initials or acronyms that they use are at the high school level. So AP stands for Advanced Placement, and H stands for honors. So if you're in middle school right now and you're taking a pre-AP class, sometimes freshmen are surprised that when they get to the high school that they're now in honors, they're not directly into an advanced placement course. The way it works is you start out with honors in English and math. So English 1 honors, English 2 honors, and then in your junior year, it goes to the advanced placement. Advanced placement is basically a college level course taught at the high school by the teacher. And at the end of the school year, you can take the AP exam, and if you score high enough, you can earn some college credits. So just know that if you're in pre-AP right now, you're going to do honors first, then advanced placement. When you're choosing your classes and trying to decide what classes you want to take, and you're wanting to take classes for university to get ready for the university and meet your A to G requirements, you're going to want to make sure that it's a college prep class. The way you make sure it's college prep is the P. So if you have the class title, after the class title in parentheses is a P, that stands for prep, college prep. So that you know that class will count towards your A to G requirements. Again, you can take a screenshot or a picture right now, but this website right here that I put down, you can go to that. You can put in what high school that you go to, and you can look at the list of all the courses at your high school that count towards the A to G requirements. The English, the math, the history, the science, the foreign language. It'll give you the entire list and what area it counts. And again, I'm going to go through the A to G list here in a few minutes for you. I don't want to get too far ahead of you guys, and I'm going to pause for just a minute and see if you have any questions. So you can go down to the Q&A and type in any questions right now that you might have. I'll just take a minute. If not, we'll move on. Okay, I'm not seeing anything pop up, so we'll go ahead and move on. All right, so high school is a big transition. I like to tell kids, like when you're in middle school, when you're in elementary school, the teachers are warm and fuzzy. They come up to you, ask how things are going. Do you need help with this? Do you want to stay after class, get a little extra help? Did you turn in your homework? I need your homework. Open your backpack, take your homework out, give it to me. They're kind of that warm, fuzzy person watching out for you. When you get to high school, teachers still care quite a bit about you, but because of the number of students that they deal with, they don't always have time to come personally check in with each and every one of their students. So this is where you're now a young adult, and the responsibility now falls on you to go up to the teacher and tell them that you need help, or that you don't understand something, or could I stay after class and get extra help? And so you need to initiate those conversations with the adults. Teachers love it when you do this, okay? They don't see it as a burden. They don't get frustrated. They want to hear from you. They want to know what's going on. But rather than them coming up to you, it's now your responsibility to come up to them and say, I need help. And they'll meet you halfway and make sure that they take the time to go over what you need to do. The one warning I have is sometimes teachers will say, hey, meet me at lunch, come in at lunchtime to my classroom and we'll go over everything. I've seen students make the mistake of they make a lunchtime appointment with their teacher, then their friend asks them to go out to lunch and they're like, oh, that sounds like more fun. So off to lunch they go and they leave the teacher hanging. Now, if you were the teacher and you put your time aside and were waiting for a student and they never showed up, how would you feel? So put yourself in their shoes and make sure that you respect their time. If they set up an appointment for you, honor that time and make sure you show up. Okay, so graduation requirements. These are the classes that you need to graduate high school. So English, you need 4 years, or we refer to it as 40 credits. So for every class that you take each semester and pass with a D or higher, you earn 5 credits. You take 6 classes each semester, that's 30 units. 2 semesters in a year, that's 60 units a year. So 4 years of English, that means freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year, you're going to have English. We now have a 3-year math requirement. The graduation requirement also states that you must pass integrated math 1 and then 2 other additional years of math. I believe next year they're adding a class for those that maybe math is not your strong suit. They are adding a class that you can take prior to taking integrated math 1, and that will count towards your math requirement. History, you have to take 3 years of history. Freshman year, we're going to give you a break. You don't have to take history freshman year. Sophomore year, you'll take your world history. Junior year, you will take US history. Senior year, you're going to take a semester of civics and a semester of economics. Science, you need 2 years of science. Typically, you'll take biology, well, everyone will take biology, which is your life science. That will be your sophomore year. And then you can take either physical or earth science or chemistry to take care of that second year of math, science. Now, occasionally we will have students ask if they can take chemistry their freshman year. The answer is maybe. So you need to be really reflective before you decide. If you're currently in middle school and you're taking pre-AP classes and pre-AP math and you're really doing well, it seems easy to you, and you're that kid that always turns in their homework and doesn't have to be reminded to turn in their homework, then yes, I would consider taking chemistry my freshman year. That would allow you more room in your junior and senior year to take more science classes, like the advanced placement science classes, which we have physics, chemistry, biology, all AP courses. So it opens up some more opportunity if you take chemistry in your freshman year. But again, be really reflective of, are you ready for it? Are you that kid that really does well in the sciences and always does their homework without being reminded? Health. You need to take half a year, which is a semester, 5 units of health. Some freshmen choose to take that in their summer before freshman year. When the counselors and learning directors come out and talk to you guys, probably in the next 4 weeks, about registering for your classes for next year, You tell them at that time that you want to take Sunday school and you want to take health. You can also take driver's ed at the same time. So that's something to consider. PE, you have a 2-year PE requirement. All freshmen, even if you are playing a sport, need to take PE. The second year of PE can be taken care of in a number of ways. So a lot of kids will play sports. If you play 2 sports, sophomore through senior year, that will count for your PE. So maybe I play football and track, that takes care of it. Maybe I do swimming and volleyball, that takes care of it. Another way, and it's really hard right now because we are home with school right now because of COVID. But typically in the freshman year, they do the state PE testing. If you pass all 6 areas, then in your sophomore year, your band, marching band can count towards your PE as well. And your counselor can help guide you on that. Next, we have fine art or foreign language. You need to take 1 year fine art or foreign language, not one of each, just one period. So I could take a drama class, I'm done. I could take a year of Spanish, I'm done. I could take choir, I'm done. So there's a lot of opportunities, different classes that you can take to fulfill that requirement. Electives. You need to take 65 units of electives to fulfill your graduation requirements. These are the fun classes that you get to pick. So these are the things that you do to explore what you like, who you are, what your interests are. You could take a shop class like welding or auto. You could take a home ec class and learn how to cook. You could take a foreign language. You could take an art class. There are a lot of opportunities to really see what's out there and what makes you excited. You need 220 units total for graduation. If you add all of this up, we actually, I'm sorry, let me back that up. If you take 60 units per year, which is what you're required to take, and you pass all your classes all 4 years, 4 times 60 is actually 240 credits. So we give you 20 credits wiggle room. That way, if you have a bad semester, you don't do well in the class, you don't get the full units, you have to repeat it, we give you some wiggle room. The thing that you need to watch out is that you don't use that wiggle room up all in your freshman year, okay? So really watch your grades and be aware of your grades. So once again, these are the high school graduation requirements. Now, if I want to go from high school straight to a 4-year university, I need to also meet the A to G requirements. And there's a lot of crossover between graduation requirements and A to G requirements. So that's kind of helpful. So let's look at the requirements. Requirement A, social science, 2 years. Well, if you look at your graduation requirements, you have to take 3 years. So we've already got you covered. Also know you can take advanced placement in our social science. So you can take AP European History or AP US History. So there's some chances also to take some advanced courses and show the universities that you really are willing to academically push yourself. English, that's requirement B. You're required to take 4 years. That's exactly the same as it is for graduation requirements, 4 years. So you've got yourself set that way as well. Again, we have the honors English if you choose, or the advanced placement. Also, we have dual enrollment courses. That's a COS class that they actually offer at our high school. And the students can take English 1, which is the English 1 college level, and English 2. You take that your senior year. And if you take those 2 courses, it will actually cover all of your lower division English classes for college. So you can graduate high school and have a big chunk of your English taken care of for college. Mathematics, 3 years are required. Now, this sounds very similar to the graduation requirements, but they want you to go higher in your math level. You must complete integrated math 2 or higher. If you're planning to apply to a very competitive university like UCLA or UC Berkeley, I would definitely add an extra year in math and do 4 years of math. That's what they're going to be looking for. Even though they require only 3, they want to see you go above and beyond the requirement. Lab science, 2 years, sounds very similar to graduation. They want you to take biology and they want you to take chemistry. The physical earth science, you can take that later as a G requirement, but for university lab science, they want the biology and they want the chemistry. Foreign language. This is where it differs from the graduation requirements. You need to take 2 years of the same foreign language, whether it's Spanish, Spanish for Spanish speakers, French, American Sign Language. You need to take at least 2 years. Again, they would love to see you take 3 or 4 if you can. Visual and performing arts, 1 year. So again, it can be band, it can be art, it can be drama, it could be photography. There are a lot of opportunities there. Then they want you to take 1 year of college prep elective. That's basically one class that comes from any of these other areas, plus a few other choices. Your counselor, your learning director, they can help guide you through on how to choose these classes. So don't feel like you have to do all this by yourself. They can walk you through the process. Okay, so like I said, your counselors and learning directors will be coming in the next 4 or 5 weeks to register you for your classes next week. So let's talk about that. They're going to give you a list to look at with your electives. These are the fun classes that you get to take. So freshman year, you'll be required to take English, you'll be required to take math, you'll be required to take PE. The other 3 classes you get to choose, whether it's a foreign language or a shop class, you get to choose. The counselors are going to ask you to pick 5 electives. Remember I said you get 3 spots, but they're going to ask you to pick 5. Because sometimes when you pick a class, that class may conflict with another class you're taking, or it may be full, or maybe that year they're not going to offer it. So they're going to ask you to put 5 choices down, choose all 5 wisely, because sometimes students assume that they'll get their first 3 choices, and that's not necessarily the case. Sometimes you get your 4th choice, your 5th choice. So put down the classes that you want and that you're willing to take. Because if you get that course, even if it's the 5th choice that you put down, you'll be asked to stay with that class because they hire their teachers and they make their master schedule based on the classes that you've asked for. Your academic classes, your teachers from your middle school will give recommendations to the high school for your math and English placement. If you get your schedule next year and you go, I'm in regular English, I think I was supposed to be in honors. If you talk to your counselor, your learning director, they'll double check and they'll make that change if necessary. Reasons that they won't change your schedule. They're not going to change your schedule for you to be with your favorite teacher or your best friend. It's just impossible to give everyone their favorite teacher, best friend. So to be fair to everyone, they don't change classes on that idea. What if you pick up your schedule and you think you were put in the wrong math class and you need to see your counselor or learning director? How do you do it? Well, one, hopefully, we're back on campus next year. If not, online, if you go under each high school, they have a counselor section and you can go on there and click and make an appointment with a counselor. Once we're back at the high school campuses, you can go into the office and fill out a form saying, I want to be seen by my counselor. And they will give that to the counselor, and the counselor will send a pass for you as soon as they have a spot available. Okay, so someone's asking, what are the differences between honors and AP? So honors classes are in preparation for advanced placement. So advanced placement courses actually get a bump in the GPA. So if I get an A in AP history, instead of getting the normal 4 points towards my GPA, I actually get 5 points. If I get a B, I get 4 points instead of 3. So the big difference is the weighted GPA comes with the advanced placement courses, whereas the honors classes prepare you with that rigor and get you ready for the AP classes. But usually freshmen take honors, sophomores take honors. The first chance you're really going to have to take an AP course is your sophomore year with AP European History. Great question. Okay. NCAA. If you plan to play athletics in college, you're going to want to make sure that you meet the NCAA requirements. There, you can go online and look at the NCAA requirements. Your counselors and learning directors also know the NCAA requirements. They're very similar to the A to G, but there's just a few slight differences. So you're going to want someone to guide you through it. And then in your junior year, you go online and register with the NCAA, pay a fee or get a fee waiver in order to be registered with the NCAA. What I advise students is every time you meet your counselor each year to pick your classes for the next year, remind them that you want to be NCAA eligible if you plan to play college athletics. We have another question. NCAA, National Association Athletes. Ooh, you got me on that one. I'm having a brain freeze. I'm going to pass and get back to you on that one, okay? Okay, so the thing I'm going to talk about next is probably the most important point that you can remember tonight. So in middle school, homework does not count towards your academic grade. It counts towards your social grade, but not your academic grade. In high school, your homework counts towards your academic grade. Oh, someone rescued me. National Collegiate Athletic Association. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Okay, so back to homework. Homework absolutely counts towards your academic grade in high school. That seems to be the one thing that sinks freshmen the fastest. They don't realize that missing homework assignments will sink their grade as fast as it does. And so all of you will have, I'm blanking, Power School. It's been one of those days, what can I say? Power School, just like you do in middle school. I strongly urge you to check your grades every week and make sure you're not missing any assignments. And the way that you can tell that you're missing an assignment is right here in the red circle. You see the 0/20? That means that assignment was not turned in. So I'm trying to make my point here. If you look at the student and all their homework, in the beginning, they were getting A, I mean, acing everything, A+. Then we get to an assignment they didn't turn in, they got a 0, they got an F. Next assignment, big test, they got a B. Next assignment, they got a 0. Those 2 zeros took all those wonderful A's and brought their grade down to a B, an 84%. So I can't stress enough getting your homework turned in and getting it turned in on time. Sometimes freshman instructors will give you a break. And if you don't turn an assignment in and you talk to them and say, I forgot, or I got distracted, can I turn it in late? Some of them will be nice enough to say, I will give you half credit if you turn it in. If they are that nice, make sure you get in immediately. If this student had gotten half credit on these 2 zeros, it would have popped this grade back up to an A. So simple story is turn in your homework, every single piece of it. And if you do that, I can guarantee you're going to have a pretty good freshman year. Okay. If you're planning to do sports in high school, great opportunity to meet people, athletics are wonderful and all the things that you learn in terms of working as a team, pushing yourself as an individual. But usually, if you do athletics, especially freshman athletics, typically the games are earlier in the day. So that means you'll be leaving school early and you may miss your 5th and 6th period class. And this may happen once or twice a week. So you're going to really want to communicate with those teachers and check in with them before leaving campus. So if you know you have a game and you're leaving early, I would go in at lunchtime and meet that teacher and say, what assignment do we have today? If you know there's a test that day, I would go in and ahead of time and say, can I take that test early that morning or at lunchtime before I leave for the game? It's going to look really bad if all your teammates talk to their teacher and make those arrangements and you don't, and you come back and you go, what happened? What am I supposed to do? You want to look like you're that responsible kid. So make sure you check in with your teachers before you leave for games. Okay, so we talked a little bit about counselors and learning directors. What are they there for? What can they do for me? They are your go-to person for just about everything. Let's put one question here. Does marching band leave early sometimes? Sometimes, but a lot of times I think their events may be on the weekends. So like the band review shows, that type of thing, the parades typically are on Friday nights or Saturdays. That's a great question. Okay, going back to counselors and learning directors. So they can help you with choosing any of your academic classes, making that plan to get into the college of your choice. They can talk to you about how to pick a career, how to pick the major. That's the thing that you study in college and what colleges have those majors. They can also be there if you have a bad day. So maybe you got an argument with mom and dad, you just need someone to talk to, or your friends are causing some drama. They're definitely the people to go to. Like I said before, you put in the request to see them, they will call you in and help with anything you need. If it's an emergency, and by an emergency, I mean you're feeling really down and maybe depressed and like you don't know if you can go on, or your friend comes up to you and says, I think I want to hurt myself. That is an emergency and we want to take it seriously. So in that case, you go straight to the counseling office, you tell the secretary what's going on, and they will get a counselor for you immediately, okay? Don't put in a request on things like that. If it's just a class change or you want to talk to them about college, then fill out the request. If it's an emergency, tell the secretary and they will get help right away. Okay, so knowing your resources. We don't expect you to do this alone. But again, you're a young adult, so you need to go seek out the help. Don't expect someone to grab you by the hand and pull you to the help. You have to take the responsibility and show up. So first of all, monitor your grades every week on PowerSchool. Check and make sure those assignments got turned in. If you see a 0 and you think you turned that assignment in, talk to your teacher. Maybe they haven't had time to grade it or got set aside, but communicate with them on those missing assignments. We have free tutoring after school every day. So we have great, very robust after school programs that have free tutoring, English, math, or science. So you can stay after school, go to the library, and meet with a tutorial group. Approach the teacher, let them know what you need and what's going on. In my experience, if you let teachers know what's going on, they will meet you before school, after school, lunchtime. They will be there for you. You just need to tell them what's going on. Form your own study group. When you get to college, the way you survive college is study groups. Might as well start practicing those in high school. So get some friends together that are in your class and get together with them. What you don't know, they may know. What they don't know, you may know, and you can share information. I would also make sure you have a phone number for a couple people in your class. Even if you're that shy kid, you know, ask 1 or 2 people if you can exchange numbers. That way, if you get home and you see the assignment, and you go, wait a second, what did they say to do? How do I do this? You can shoot someone a text and say, what are we supposed to do? Or, hey, I forgot to write down the assignment. Do you have it? If you do all of these things and you're still struggling with your grades, talk to your counselor and learning director. Let them know everything that you've done, and maybe they can make some suggestions. They've worked on those campuses for years. They know the teachers well. They know what their expectations are, and maybe have some insights to help you through that. Okay, AVID. AVID is Advancement via Individual Determination. It's an elective class. It's also an elective class in middle school, so you may already be an AVID as it is. But this class is designed to help prepare you for college. It is considered college prep. It meets the G requirement on the A to G requirements. And basically they teach you organizational skills, study skills. They give you free tutoring. They have the tutors come in during class time to help you. And they also take you on college tours. The nice thing is in your senior year, they help walk you through the whole college application process and also your financial aid. So there's a lot of benefits to taking AVID. So if you think that's something you'd like to do, when the counselors ask you what electives you want to take for next year, let them know that you're interested in AVID. Okay, college entrance exams. This is a tricky one right now. We aren't giving the PSAT this year. There aren't any places around here right now offering the SAT or ACT because of COVID. The UCs and CSUs have both announced that they're not going to have students this year or next year take the SAT or ACT. And the UC has gone as far as saying that they're not going to probably go back to the SAT. They're going to develop something on their own. So things are really kind of up in the air about the SAT, ACT. And these were basically the college entrance exams. It measures how well you do in English and math and how well you might do in college. As things develop, your counselors will let you know. So just keep talking to them and asking if that's something that you need to take. If you think you're going to COS first, maybe you're going to go to COS for 2 years and then transfer to a 4-year college. You don't have to take the SAT or ACT to go to COS. Instead, you're going to go to COS and show them how you do in your first 2 years, which is just probably even better than showing them how you might do on a test. Okay, so last week we talked about how to pick your career. And I told you that the more involved you get, the more things that you go out and try, the more you're going to get to know what you like, what you dislike, what you're good at, what your strengths are, what gets you excited. And that's going to make it easier to pick your career and what you want to do in the future. So the more involved you get in high school, the better time you're going to have, and the more you're going to know about yourself when it's time to pick the college in 4 short years. So Club Rush. So let's once again, hope we're back on campus next year. If not, definitely the next year, okay? But most likely, hopefully, cross our fingers, next year. Club Rush usually happens maybe the second, third week of school. It's at lunchtime, and every single club goes out to the quad area and sets up a booth. And you can go around and sign up for as many clubs as you would like. So they have things like mock trial. So if you want to be a future lawyer, or FBLA if you want to get involved in future business leaders, or ag. They've got all kinds of clubs, probably one for everyone. My suggestion to you is sign up for 4 to 5 clubs. I know that sounds like a lot, but what I want you to do is sign up for 4 or 5, go to the first meetings, check them out, see if it's what you think it is. Is it something you like? Is it something you don't like? And then decide what clubs you're going to stick with. I don't expect you to stay with all 4 or 5 clubs, but narrow it down to which ones you actually like. Sports. We've got every sport you can think of. Football, swimming, tennis, golf, volleyball, soccer, cross country, the list goes on and on. And we have a lot of students that maybe didn't play sports in middle school or elementary school that tried sports for the first time. So don't hold back if just because you haven't done sports before. Go out and try it anyway. All of our high schools have school musicals and plays every year. You do not have to be in drama class in order to audition for the musical or play. This isn't, the school musical and school play are after school activities that are separate from your classes. So even if you're not in drama, or even if you're not in choir, you can still go out for the musical and play. We've got also academic teams like math team, academic decathlon, mock trial. There's marching band, there's choir. You could also go and participate in yearbook. If you like to take pictures, organize pictures, yearbook's great. We also have the school newspaper. Literally, there is something for everyone. You just have to be willing to go out there and get involved and try it. Okay, keeping the balance. So for those of you, the overachievers out there, make sure that you keep the balance. Just because you can take every AP class and do the full musical and run cross country at the same time doesn't mean you should. If you find that you've taken on too much and you're up till 1 o'clock every night trying to get your homework done and you don't have any time for your family, you've probably tipped the balance too far. If that's the case, it's okay to let some of your activities go. Don't feel like you have to keep that insane schedule going. Just talk to the counselor, talk to the club advisor or whoever you're feeling like the pressure is on and you need to maybe step back and let them know what's going on. They're adults, they've walked the walk before, they know how it is. And as long as you communicate with them, they're going to understand. Okay, so friends, the change from middle school to high school, a lot of times your friend groups are going to change. And every year when I tell this to the middle school students, they look at me like, you don't know what you're talking about. My best friend's going to be with me forever. And then I see them a year or two later and they go, oh yeah, you were right. This is what happens. It's not that your friends stop liking you or not wanting to hang out with you. It's that all of you get involved in different things. So maybe one friend gets involved in swimming and another the school play and another a photography class or something. Well, when you're doing these activities, you get to know new people. When you get to know new people, they ask you to go do things and hang out. So suddenly you have new groups of friends. So maybe one day you hang out with a group of friends from swim team. One day you're hanging out with a group of friends from band. Just know that your friend world is going to expand, but that may mean that you're not always hanging out every day with your current friends. And if that happens to you and your friends start to try new things, don't take it personally that they're abandoning you. They're not. They're getting involved and they're learning who they are. And that's your clue to also get involved. So that way you meet new people and new experiences. And don't hesitate to just kind of jump in and do anything that sounds exciting to you. Okay, Link Learning Academies. Like I said, tomorrow night and Thursday night, we are having the parent meeting for the Link Learning Academies. Also in your PE classes this week, they are showing videos on the Link Learning Academies. The applications are opening up this week and they are due by February 22nd. The website that I showed you at the beginning of this presentation, if you go to that website, all the information is there. Also, the links to sign up for the parent nights tomorrow night are on our website. So make sure you go and check those out. But basically, we have 2 Link Learning Academies at each high school. You can sign up for any of them. So maybe you're supposed to go to El Diamante, but you really think you want to be a doctor, so you want to do the Academy of Health Sciences at Mount Whitney. You put in your application, and if you're accepted to the Health Academy, you are now a full-time Mount Whitney student. And so the Link Learning Academies basically involve your English, typically your math, and an elective class that all revolve around that theme of the academy. We have great partnerships with industry leaders in our community. They come in and talk to you. They also mentor. You can go out and do job shadowing. And also sometimes there's internships during the summer in that field. So if you're interested in Link Learning Academies, be sure you come to our parent night tomorrow night or on Thursday night. We also have the Cadet Corps. I think we're in the second year of the Cadet Corps at Mount Whitney. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and fill out the Link Learning Academy application and put down that you're interested in the Cadet Corps so that they know to put you in that group. And right now the group is small, it's brand new, so you should have no problem getting into that program. Okay, I covered a lot. These are things I hope make your freshman year easier and the transition easier. I want to go ahead and open it up to questions. So if you have any questions, you can put in the Q&A or in the chat, and I'd be happy to address those. Okay, a lot of you did a great job asking questions as we went along, so you may not have questions now. Like I said before, the counselors and learning directors will be contacting you the next couple of weeks through February on scheduling for next year. So be sure to follow the emails they send you and stay informed that way. How or when will we get some information about summer school classes? So when you talk to your counselor and learning director about signing up for your classes next school year, you tell them at that time that you want summer school, and they will put you down as wanting summer school. It is a lottery for summer school, but they're usually able to accommodate a big number of students. Hope that answered that. Anyone else have some questions out there? Okay, well, I hope this helped. I hope you have a great freshman year. Try lots of new things and have lots of fun along the way, because the 4 years is going to go really, really, really fast. And again, this event's been recorded. We're going to go ahead and put that on our YouTube channel, so you can always come back and refer to it as well. Looks like we have one more question. See you January 21st. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow. That would be great. Or Thursday. That'd be great. All right. I think that takes care of it for this evening. Everyone have a good evening, and we'll talk to you later. Thank you. One more question. You're welcome.